So when people think about old cameras, what do you think they generally picture? I think maybe they imagine somebody like Ansel Adams with a large format camera out in the wilderness of California, or maybe a Graflex Crown Graphic, or a Kodak Brownie. But more than any other type of camera, I don't think anything screams classic vintage photography like a TLR. Today we're going to talk about the only true TLR I own, and one of my favorite cameras ever manufactured. This is the Yashica MAT 124G. Let's get into it. So before we get into the specifics of the Yashica MAT 124G, let's get into the concept of a TLR camera in general. So TLR stands for twin lens reflex. Most people are going to be familiar with SLR or DSLR cameras, which of course stands for single lens reflex or digital single lens reflex. In an SLR camera, you have one lens with a mirror that reflects light up to the viewer, to your eye, and when you take a photo, that mirror snaps out of the way, allowing the light to reach the sensor or film surface behind the lens. In an SLR camera, it's a more simple design. You have two lenses, a viewing lens, which you use to compose your image, and a taking lens that you use to actually take the photograph. So there's one lens that's always exposed to light all the time. When you look through the viewfinder, in this case a top-down viewfinder, you're seeing through that lens, and when you compose and fire your image, you're shooting through the other lens. The advantage of that is it's, again, a simpler design. There's less mechanically going on with the camera. The downside is something called parallax, where as you get closer to objects, the two lenses aren't seeing exactly the same thing, so that can cause some issues. But in general, it's a really cool and interesting way to shoot photos. It's also sort of a photographic dead end, which is something that I find really exciting to explore. One of my favorite things about shooting film and collecting old cameras is the idea of taking these detours down roads that kind of went away. These ideas and ways of shooting photographs that lasted, in this case, for a really long time, but eventually faded out of fashion and were replaced by, DSLRs and more now mirrorless cameras. So the Yashica MAT 124G, despite its really beautiful old looks, is actually a relatively new camera. They were still manufacturing these while I was alive, albeit barely. They manufactured these cameras from the early 1970s through the, I believe, mid 1980s, and the looks, the kind of antique aesthetic, is to a certain extent intentional, even at the time. I bought this camera on KEH before people started getting into film photography, and I believe I spent $175 for it. It was in bargain condition. Honestly, there's a slight scuff on the side there, but it's in just beautiful shape. I've been really happy with this camera. So one of my favorite aspects of the Yashica MAT 124G is that it shoots in square format. It uses medium format 120 film, and it shoots a 6x6 image. Shooting square format is a really cool and new experience because in general, we're so used to shooting things in that rectangle format, whether it's from traditional cameras or, your cell phone today. People are used to sort of that wide angle appearance, and shooting in square format, there's no need to rotate the camera for anything. The image is the image no matter what, but it gives you a really kind of new experience framing and composing images. So I really enjoy it. What I want to do today is take this out and shoot some photographs with it. I've been shooting it for a couple weeks now, but I want to go out with you guys. We're going to take some pictures. You're going to join me on my adventure, and we're going to see what kind of results we can get with this thing. I've got some, what do I have here? I've got some, nope, not that phone. That's a surprise. I've got some Portra, no. I got some Pro 400H. I got some Ektar 100. I got some Ektar 100, and I got a little Tri-X 400. So we'll probably take this out, we'll shoot some pictures, we'll hope for the best, and it's just gonna be great. Let's go. So I'm in downtown Raleigh with the Yashica. I don't wanna get hit by a car here, but I have it on a tripod for some reason. And we will try and find something worth taking a photograph of. So I don't know if you can see, but back there it looks like potentially a cool church or something, so I'm gonna go head over there and see if I can't find something interesting. I'm sort of on the outskirts of downtown, so it's mostly churches and government buildings out here. I want to head in a little further where some of the stores are and see if there's anything neat there. Kind of neat. This little scene here. Just see if the question is whether or not I can get wide enough to get anything cool here. It's an F8 1/250th, so. And we have it sort of, kind of a neat composition here. Let's see if I can move back just a tad and see if I can't get something cool here. I mean, I don't know. It looks like a church. I don't know that it's that exciting. I don't see anything that stands out as an easy to shoot scene with the normal lens. So I don't know how cool this is, but there's sort of this building in the foreground with that Wells Fargo building back behind it. I thought it was kind of neat. I'm gonna try and capture it as best I can with this. You can sort of get an idea there. I don't know, we'll see how this turns out. That's it for that roll. So colors are kind of cool. I think I'm actually going to throw some Ektar in and take this photo with Ektar and just see how it looks. So basically the same photograph, but this time with Ektar, and as a result, we are shooting at a substantially slower shutter speed. So we're gonna bring this down to F8, 1/250th of a second, because this is ISO 100 film. Move this guy back and try to get the composition dialed in and take a photo. So I'm gonna photograph this and try not to get hit by a car real quick. So I like this. I'm sort of sitting in the street and I obviously don't have a wide enough lens to get as much as I would like, but let me cross real quick here. Let me see how if I can get this whole building. So I'm actually gonna bracket this one and try something similar. So I'm gonna wait for this bus to pass and then photograph this building in this intersection. It's kind of cool. That's it. So yeah, ran out of film. Timed it pretty well, honestly. I was starting to get to the end of my rope in terms of stuff to photograph, but it was a pretty day. It's like almost 80 degrees out today and the leaves are falling. It's just kind of nice out. So find a time to cross here, get over to my car, which I can see, and head back. But yeah, the Yashica is a fun camera. So some really quite sad news. I got back from taking pictures and was coming home, and I had purchased a bottle of wine and I dropped it and it shattered, and now it looks like a giant blood stain. And I'm gonna go get another bottle of wine. Very sad, very sad. So yeah, the Yashica MAT 124G. I like this camera a lot. I would recommend this camera unequivocally. It's beautiful enough that you could buy it and put it on your shelf, but don't buy it and put it on your shelf. Buy it and take pictures with it. It's a beautiful, beautiful camera. Not only as a sort of historical photographic footnote of a photographic dead end, but as just a beautifully constructed and aesthetically pleasing piece of equipment, and as a good camera that takes lovely photographs and surprisingly good portraits. So yeah, if you're in the market for an old medium format camera, maybe you want to try a TLR, maybe you want to try a square format, I can't recommend this one enough. You get beautiful images at a really relatively affordable price. Maybe you're not in the position to spend $2,000 on a Rolleiflex to try out, twin lens photography. I certainly am not. This is a really lovely alternative that gives you stunningly good pictures for the money and is a blast to shoot. And if you're looking to meet girls or something, maybe it's a conversation starter. Or men, I don't know. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you for sticking all the way to the end. If you like this video, if maybe you'd like to see me explore more of my camera collection or go back to cameras I've talked about in the past, let me know. Of course, it does really help if you like the video, and if you enjoy what you've seen, check out my other videos and hit that subscribe button. Do it. Come on. Bye. Stay safe, guys. You're the best.